The boss is back.
Get your rush on with Jay Brooks and the Morning Rush on 98.7 Kiss Country.
Great tune there from Montgomery Gentry and Drink Along song. It's a perfect song for this time of the day, really, Pete, when you're stuck at home and everything. We lost Pete. We lost Pete. We were just going live on there and it just went away. Oh no. We were on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. And we're getting all the latest updates. Oh no. I don't know. I'm just gotta wait for him to come back on. You know what we'll do? We'll take a break. We'll come. Oh, he's probably texting me right now. No, that's not him. So, there's Pete right there. Okay. He made it back on. There he is. Pete just disappeared like boom. We're talking about drinking and staying home because of the snow, and Pete disappears. That's not like you, Pete.
It's all about timing, right?
You're right. Exactly. But, we got people jumping on. We ask, if you want to, you can ask a question or whatever. But I know if you go, well, what are the roads like between here and there? I know probably what your answer is going to be, Pete.
511ia.org.
Man, have we done this before or what?
Couple times over the last however many years.
Right, exactly. So great to have Pete on. I know we've both been talking about this and it's been anticipated, like who's going to be in the playoffs. But this snowstorm is something else, huh? It's not even getting started yet, really.
No, you're exactly right. The snow, I don't think, has started for more than, a couple hours maybe.
Yeah.
And the winds, don't get me wrong, they're strong right now, but they're just going to get worse. So one of the big things to consider is if you go to work this morning, condition probably will be a lot worse when you go home. Yeah. So that's the big thing to keep in mind right now.
I know there's some banks or credit unions and other businesses that are all kind of closing for the day, keep their employees safe at home. And if you can do that, maybe if you need to do a little remote work, now's the day. Years ago we couldn't do this.
Correct.
And now, instead you're getting dug out of the ditch. You don't have to do that now if you can handle things from home.
Yep, and like you said, that's a really, really good option if it's available today. The big thing with this storm is going to be the visibility. I've talked with several of our supervisors who are out on the road right now, and they say right now the roads aren't too bad.
Yeah.
The big thing with this snow is it is a light, fluffy snow, so the roads are blowing clean. There is the possibility, depending on what the temperatures do and depending upon traffic where you're at, that snow can get caught between tires of traffic, and that can form a little bit of black ice. Up in our area right now, we don't have the huge amount of traffic that some of the other areas do, so it might not be as big of an issue, but it is still something you need to be aware of. The sheltered areas, you're going to see more snow on the road. Obviously, in town, where the wind gets knocked down a little bit, snow will accumulate on the roadways a little bit quicker. So just things to keep in mind. Again, this one is different than the last one. You had more chance of the snow sticking to the roads and everything. But the big issue we're going to be seeing throughout the day today and the way it sounds into tomorrow is going to be the visibility.
Well, if you go to 511ia.org, let's see if this works, Pete. Look at this.
Wow, you're fancy.
There's no toe bands going on. It looks, is that what that slash of the toe is?
There's,
right?
They're toe bands. Yes, there are toe bands in place, as you can see through the majority of the state. And what that means is if you do decide to drive and you do end up in the ditch, your car's going to be sitting there for a while because it is illegal. Tow companies will not come out in those areas right now. That is, those tow bands are issued by the State Patrol, and we share them on our site, obviously, as you're showing right there. So, yeah, you don't want to end up in the ditch. And also, you're going to be waiting for somebody to come and rescue you. And then you are putting the first responders in danger as well.
Right.
So, if at all possible, I know it's not possible for everybody, but if at all possible, stay home. There are so many things that are shut down right now. So, I don't know, make some popcorn, start binging your favorite show, and just relax.
You know what my favorite show is, Pete?
What's that?
Reacher.
I have heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Dude, where it's season 2, episode 7 just played last night.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, you got to go back and start over. So the season one's only 8 episodes long, and then you'll be caught up before you know it. So you got plenty of time when you get out of the office today, because you're not going to do nothing tonight. So just watch it and binge watch. You'll be done by midnight.
By midnight?
Yeah.
What streaming service is that on?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Amazon Prime or whatever it's called, or Prime, whatever they.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hit the button and it goes on, Pete.
That's it's one touch service. That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. So lots of people, like I said, the biggest thing is people probably need just to stay home today, and work remotely if they can. Kids are all going to be, unless you don't want to be around the kids today,
Yeah.
then you go into work.
Yeah. And the other thing too with this one is the temperatures. It's a lot colder. Obviously, that's why we have the light fluffy snow, and it's just going to get even more cold, as you know by looking at the forecast. So,
Right.
again, being stuck out in your vehicle, it's pretty dangerous.
Right.
Especially, obviously, if something happens with that vehicle. Doesn't run, then you're sitting there without heat. So, make sure you have the winter survival kits. It's stuff we've talked about since October, and it's finally coming to a point where it's even more important this last week. So if you do go out, and make sure you're ready, and make sure somebody knows that you are coming and they are ready to wait for you or to check on you if you don't show up.
Pete, the thing is, I posted this out earlier this morning, a couple hours ago, and I said, don't comment while driving. Okay. What are the road conditions like in your visibility?
Sure.
Now we all know it's kind of, like you said, it's going to get worse. Somebody might look out, especially if you're in town, you go, wow, that don't look too bad.
Right.
You get some of the country roads. They said they're officially covered and drifts building in Manly in some spots.
Sure. Yeah, that's what like we had just talked about in town, where the wind has places to drop the snow. It will drift in before the snow plows can get through there. I think we talked about it before. Their routes can take a couple hours, and a couple hours is a lot can happen in that time. So you just got to be ready for that. You've got to be smart about driving, slow down, turn on your headlights. That's a big one today. That's going to be one of those days where, as we mentioned, the visibility is going to be the big issue. And this is later this morning and this afternoon, your automatic headlights may not kick on. So make sure you turn those headlights on so people can see you, and you can see other people as well if they have theirs on.
I get a lot of calls, text messages, Facebook messages about tell people to turn their lights on.
Yep. No, it's a big thing. It's really become an issue with the advent of the automatic headlights that everybody relies on, including myself. But again, when you get in conditions like this where it's not dark enough for them to kick on, and I know I've heard a lot of people say, well, you've got your running lights, they're on. Yes, they are, but you don't have tail lights. And if somebody comes up behind you and you don't have tail lights on and it's blowing and drifting, that's not a good situation.
Right. And then there's going to be a lot of dead batteries at the end of the workday today. If you do that, turn your lights on, turn them on.
Jay, if you get out of your vehicle and something keeps beeping, you may want to stop and figure out why it's beeping.
All right. That's right. Pete always says, put the ball on the tee. I'm going to swing. Okay.
That's right. And the main reason I can say that, Jay, is I think it was just a couple days ago, I got out of my pickup and I was like, why is it beeping? I was like, oh yeah, my headlights are on.
See, years ago, we didn't have that, Pete.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's
then
you came out to the dead battery.
Right, exactly. Going, oh no, I got to call Dad now. And he's going to tell you how much of an idiot you are for not turning your lights off.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, I'm sure you were the same growing up on a farm or in a small town.
Yeah.
You open your hood in the parking lot at school, and there's probably 7 people standing there with jumper cables ready to help you out.
Oh yeah, and the guns in the back window.
Probably. Yeah.
Those were the days, kids. You have no idea what it was like.
Yeah, that's a different story for a different time.
Well, yeah. Hey, Mark, you'll be happy to know here, Pete. Mark, he's looking at the Iowa 511 map.
Yep.
Over the last hour, the normal winter driving condition roads went from most of North Iowa down to basically I-35 north on the Clear Lake to the state line in the US 65 from Mason City north. Yeah, he's detailed.
Very detailed.
Yeah. Once it starts to snow in those areas, even those will become snow covered real quick. Cameras from Central Iowa show plenty of snow on the roads.
Yeah, exactly. And check out those snowplow cameras too.
Yeah.
You watch a lot of the news coverage. I try to watch a few of them every morning, and I was watching some out of Des Moines this morning, and they were using our snowplow cameras quite a bit. And yeah, down there they have a lot of snow-covered roads already. And
Right.
like he said, and like we've talked about, as the day goes on, snow picks up, as the winds pick up, conditions will deteriorate, and then of course they will into the night as well once it gets dark again.
Yeah. Well, and that's not all of his post, Pete. Mark even goes on and says, take it slow if you must go out, and make sure you have at least a half tank of fuel, an emergency kit with food, water, and extra clothing or blankets, and a charged cell phone.
Mark's on top of it.
Yeah.
He's been listening.
Yeah. No, that or he's either law enforcement, works for the DOT, or he's been stuck in that situation before.
I don't care where he works. He's smart, and we appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah, just a couple hours ago, Osage to Charles City and Lancer Avenue and Highway 14 snow. It started to make small drifts on the roadways. That was a couple hours ago.
Yeah, and the big thing too, the east-west roads will be worse than the north-south roads because of the wind direction.
Yeah,
they're going to drift in a little bit faster. So,
right.
All things to keep in mind as you plan your day.
Exactly. So, is there any way that people can keep up to date on any of that? Just besides the best thing is just the 511 IA app on your phone. It's all free to download, and you can use it year round. So it's not like you just got to use it in the wintertime.
Right.
And you can also go to 511ia.org on your computer. If you're sitting there determining whether you want to go to work or not, you can call in and go, you know what? I'm not coming in. I looked at the snow cams and it's not good.
No, that's your best resource. Social media, follow our 511 sites on social media, both I guess X now and Facebook. Follow the State Patrol on your social media. Follow your local county sheriffs on social media. They do a great job when possible of updating what's going on as well. So any type of official site like that, again, a lot of these people are very busy, especially in the smaller communities where they don't have time to update their social media all the time. We do have a social media team that is their only job, is keeping track and things like that, and being in touch with our people out in the field. So it's a great resource. So make sure you make use of it.
Absolutely. Well, Pete, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here this morning on a busy morning. Not only for, just you with the DOT, but all the snow movers and everything else. They've been working hard today.
I saw them this morning. They were out in the parking lots pushing snow as I was coming to work. So, yep, they've had a busy week as well. So, and again, that's the other thing. All these people are human. No matter how much they, try to get rest and get breaks in their shifts and everything, it's pretty grueling work. So that makes it even more important to give them space, slow down, and just take it easy, because they're doing a tough job. And again, another thing, I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because with this light, fluffy snow, if there is a plow going, it's going to kick up the snow cloud, and the visibility is going to be worse around that snow plow as well. So be aware of that as well. That's, again, just I've said it 100 times, just slow down.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine told me a long time ago, a few years ago, he's like, he loves the snow.
Okay.
I said, what do you like, the snowmobile? He said, no, these are pennies from heaven. Because he moves snow.
Obviously, snowplow business.
Yeah. Now the big plow that went by, if he's listening, he's probably going, this ain't no fun.
Right. Yeah. All depends on your perspective.
Yeah. I get paid the same either way, but
right.
Snow plowers out there doing all the convenience stores and other parking lots. They're just loving this because they get to go play in the snow and make money.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah. But if you're going to sit home with the kids today, get like Pete, like you said, get some popcorn and binge watch Reacher. Lisa messaged in and said, Reacher's the bomb.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I have to admit, we don't have a lot of streaming services, but we have been, I don't know if you remember it's a show, it's called 911.
Yeah.
That TV show. I think we're like 3 seasons behind, and just the last week over the holidays, we've started trying to catch up. So I'm guessing that's going to be in our weekend plans.
Oh, there you go. And then Reacher to follow.
I guess so. I will write it down.
Yeah. You gotta watch, dude. It's like really cool. It's got you every week. It's got you in a cliffhanger, going, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah, that's my kind of show.
Yeah, and I like Reacher. He's a BA. You know, he's one of those guys. You know what? You know, if you move for a gun, he's gonna shoot you. I mean, it's like a military thing, and it's really kind of cool. I mean, it's really good, and he is treated not the right way, and so kind of reminds me like of a TV Rambo.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to get more and more people. My neighbor got me turned on to that thing. Hey, Reach is awesome. Oh, you gotta. I go, wow, whatever. And then I started watching one episode, and then I had to go back and start from the beginning to figure out why we're at where we're at.
Yep.
So,
like
I said things to do today.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's going to be I think it's going to be a binge watching / football playoff weekend.
Yes. And us Viking fans have no worries whatsoever.
You know, I think we talked about it Tuesday. I can't remember, but yes, I wish we were in the playoffs. But the fact that you can just sit back and relax and watch fun football,
yeah,
I can deal with that.
I know. And I know right now the Packer fans are all smiling right now, and they're going, "Who's playing this?" You know, when you give them a hard time, well, who's playing this weekend? I had
hard to argue with them.
I know. I go, "Hey, you are, but I ain't got nothing to worry about."
Yeah. We get to sit back and talk about how good we're going to be next year.
As we do every single year. Yeah. Hey, we know we stink. You know, fans, you don't have to tell us about it. And that way, we're, these whole trophy things that people always post on Facebook and everything, look at our trophy case. How's the Vikings look? We know.
Viking fans fall under one of two labels, if not both.
Loser?
Eternal optimist or masochist. Or maybe some of both.
Right. Something.
Yep.
But do you have any favorites going into the weekend, Pete?
Oh, man, I haven't looked that much. Oh, boy. And this is funny. You got his minute? One of our shop supervisors I was talked with him Tuesday, and he had listened to us, and he said it went really well, and he appreciated the info. He said, but you didn't talk about my Rams.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said, no, you're right, because honestly, they are one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. The Rams really, really are.
And they're
the Rams in Buffalo.
Yeah. And of course, that's the one where Stafford used to be the quarterback for the Rams, used to be with the Detroit Lions. They're going into Detroit for the first time in 30 years or whatever.
Yep.
And going to destroy Detroit. I mean, it's gonna be a great game.
Tell you what, the big thing is going to be if Detroit can stop the Rams passing offense, because
they know
defensive backfield is not real good, but they do have a pretty good defensive line, so they can get pressure on them. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure these coaches are a lot smarter than you and I, but I think that's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I think so. See, I like it. I've always liked Stafford. He's a quarterback, used to be for the Detroit Lions. I always liked him, thought he'd be great at Minnesota.
Yep.
And then he got traded over to the Rams, went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, MVP, all that good stuff. Now he's coming back to Detroit. I want to see, personally, I'd like to see Detroit do well in the playoffs. Packers, not so much. But I do want to see the Detroit Lions go for a while.
It's going to be fun. Like I said, it's fun to watch football and just relax and enjoy the game.
Exactly. Have a couple of beers.
There you go.
Some popcorn, salty snacks.
Yep. Now you're talking.
I'm thinking, what do I got to pick up at the grocery store before I go home today?
Yeah.
Beer, popcorn, and salty snacks.
Milk, bread, and eggs, right?
Not that, chocolate milk. No white milk, chocolate milk only.
Gotcha.
Got 24 eggs in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're set. Sounds like a bunch of omelets.
I know. Now I just got to get home.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Pete, have yourself a wonderful week or a great weekend, and we'll talk on Tuesday. Sounds great. You too, Jay. All right. Sounds good. 7:56.
That's the good stuff.
There's good stories that happen all the time.